We've grown apart. We're just not compatible anymore. I love you, but I'm just not in love with you anymore. Sound familiar? These are just a couple of the bullshit reasons you'll hear from your wife when you're separated. The truth is, your wife doesn't really know why she wanted to separate, and it's left you feeling frustrated and confused because despite your best efforts, you're making no progress with your wife. But don't worry, I'm here to help. Today I'm going to share with you my time-tested, proven strategy for reconciling during a separation. Now, if we haven't met each other before, my name's Luke Finn and I'm the founder of the ARC system, which has helped hundreds of dads avoid divorce and reconnect with their wife. And after 3 years of working with hundreds of dads just like you, I've discovered that there's a common path that all my clients go through to reconcile during a separation. And today I'm going to break it down for you. We're going to cover why you've made no progress, how you need to approach the separation so you can start having success, and what to do and what not to do. And you're going to want to stick around to the end of this video where I'm going to share with you my 5 skills to speed up the reconciliation process. Now, with all that being said, let's dive right in. Why you've made no progress. So your wife has given you her reasons for wanting to separate, or maybe in your case, she hasn't given you any reasons and you're not really sure. In either case, it doesn't really matter because your wife doesn't know why she wants to separate. All she knows is that she's feeling lonely and that things are not going to get better in the marriage, so she's decided to go and separate. And this is why couple counseling is so ineffective. You go in there, your wife starts giving all the reasons about why she wants to separate, which aren't really the reasons. And you, being a smart man, try to fix those issues. So maybe she tells you that you weren't around enough, you didn't help out enough around the house with the kids, or you weren't emotionally available. So you start doing that. But guess what? It doesn't change anything. So you're going to have to agree with me. If this really was the root problem in the relationship, and now that you've changed your behavior, you wouldn't be having problems anymore. But it's not. And you are still separated. The real problem in your marriage that your wife cannot articulate is emotional safety has been eroded. Now, I like to describe emotional safety like a wooden bridge connecting you and your wife. When this bridge is strong, you and your wife can communicate openly, be vulnerable, share your desires and dreams, and most importantly, it allows you and your wife to solve problems together. Over the years, though, your bridge has been severely damaged due to negative interactions between you and your wife, and this has left you both feeling disconnected and the communication strained. Now, rather than listening to your wife's reasons for wanting the separation, it's much more important to focus on how to repair the bridge. I'll teach you the 5 skills to repair the bridge at the end of this video. How to approach the separation. I like to think of the process of reconciliation like playing a sport. So there's certain sports that you can play when things start going wrong. The best thing that you can do is put your head down and push through it, like boxing, football, or wrestling. But then there are the sports that the more you try and the more effort you exert, when things are going wrong, the worse it gets. Like golf. I remember when I used to play golf as a kid and it used to drive me crazy. When things would start going wrong, I'd start holding my club tighter, trying to focus more. You know what would happen? Things would just get worse. I'd start shanking that ball, I'd start missing the putts, and it was horrendous. And the only way things would get better would be when I would relax, back off, focus on the basics, and keep things simple until I got back into the groove and had my confidence back. Reconciliation during a separation is just like playing golf. You gotta back off, go back to the basics, aka a proven process. And once you get back into the groove and you're calm and confident, this is where the magic starts to happen. Make no mistake, reconciling your marriage when your wife is completely checked out is all about attraction. Imagine you and your wife like 2 magnets. When your wife is acting cold and angry, she's emitting a low vibrational energy. And when you're feeling fearful and anxious and acting out of that, you're matching that low vibrational energy. So in essence, you're like 2 magnets with the same poles facing each other. So you repel each other. The process of reconciliation is counterintuitive. You've got to stop focusing on what you don't control. You don't control her. What you do control, though, is your thoughts, emotions, and actions. When you start showing up as a strong, independent man with exceptional communication skills, you become irresistible to her. You're no longer matching her energetically on a mental or emotional level, and you become magnetic to her. Make no mistake, reconciliation happens as a byproduct of the man that you've become. And for the love of God, please don't listen to other coaches that talk about mind games and psychology of how to get her to check back into the marriage. This is just manipulation and won't get you where you want to go. So now you know how to approach the separation, let's look at the tactics of what to do. You want to apply the APRES framework, which I've developed after years of helping men reconcile from separations. So APRES means after in French. So this framework is specifically designed for after she's checked out of the marriage, after a separation, after she wants a divorce. And the first part of the APRES framework is A, which means acknowledge. You want to acknowledge and honor her wishes for separation and space in the marriage. You also want to acknowledge the problems in the relationship that got it to this point. And finally, you want to acknowledge your part in this and your commitment to working on yourself regardless of the outcome. What you don't want to do here is tell her that you're going to fight for the marriage no matter what and that this isn't over. I know this sounds romantic to you, but all you're doing is pushing her away and it comes across really weak and needy. The second step is P for pull back. You want to keep conversations around safe topics like the kids or finances. You want to stop pushing the topic of the relationship. You don't want to be sending her text messages. You don't want to be trying to fabricate situations where you're going to get to spend more time with her. And you certainly do not want to be asking her if she's seen your changes. Step number 3 is R for reflect. You and your wife have been together a long time. You've got a lot of history and your situation is unique. So you need to take the time to sit down and reflect on what happened in your marriage. You don't want to be relying on what your wife said is the reason for the separation. You can use that as a data point. It's information. The more information you have, the better. But you don't want to be relying on that solely. You need to sit down, reflect on all those years together and pinpoint where things started to go downhill and literally get a pen and paper and write it down. Where did things start going wrong? Now, identifying the root problems in your relationship isn't always that easy. It requires a lot of awareness. That's why I created a free masterclass that's going to take you by the hand and help you identify the root problems in your marriage. I'll link the masterclass down below. Enroll today. Step number 4 is E for engage. You got to engage with life again, brother. So you got to be honest with yourself. You kind of lost yourself over these last few years with your wife. You watered yourself down and you need to see this as a gift for you to rediscover yourself. So go and engage with life more. Get into the gym, push yourself, go and apply yourself, go learn something new because there's nothing more sexy to a woman than a man on a mission. And brother, with the separation, you've got more time on your hands. You don't want to be just sitting around. You want to go and apply yourself. You want to learn a process that's going to get you on the road to reconciliation, that's going to get you reconnected with your wife. This channel has over 100 videos, brother. You can sit down, take notes, and make sure that you're getting back on the road to reconciliation as soon as possible. And step number 5 is S for stop worrying. You're getting way too focused on the tactics. So you're getting tactics today with the what. But brother, what's much more important is the how you go about it. And we covered that as well today. So rather than getting caught up about little steps, about what should you say to her during Christmas? What should you say to her when the anniversary is coming up? How should you interact with her when you're dropping off the kids? These are all whats, and they're not so important as the how. So you need to relax and stop worrying because this worrying isn't helping you at all. And as you face these issues in your marriage, I'd highly recommend that you apply the teachings of the Indian monk Gaur Gopal Das.
Do you have a problem in life? No? Then why worry? Do you have a problem in life? Yes. Can you do something about it? Yes. Then why worry? Do you have a problem in life? Yes. Can you do something about it? No. Then why worry?
So you've got a problem. There is something you can do about it. Why worry? And instead of worrying, watch this next video on the 5 skills to repair the bridge and speed up the reconciliation process.